With the formal surrender of Imperial Japan on September 2, 1945, World War II finally ended, but the Battle of Manila had left the city flattened by both Allied and Japanese bombing. More than 200,000 had died, more than 400,000 families were homeless, and millions more were displaced in the outskirt towns and provinces. President Osmeña organized Quezon's People's Home Site Corporation to speed up housing projects for the families displaced by the war. In January 1946, he appointed Ponciano Bernardo as second mayor of Quezon City. Bernardo constructed a new city hall at the corner of Avenida 10 y 9 de Junio, which became Highway 54, and Kamuning Road, and completed this in 1947. The new city hall featured Quezon City's first public park, a zoo, recreational facilities, and a library in a complex that was adjacent to the Philippine Constabulary Outpost, which Tomas Morato, a previous mayor, had installed in 1939. What remains of that city hall is now Ramon Magsaysay High School, and from the upper floors of our multipurpose building, one can see Bernardo Park and the mentioned PC outpost. The late Ruben Lopez described Kamuning in his recollection of the early days. Nung dumating kami rito sa Kamuning noong 1943, kakaunti pa lang ang nakatayong bahay mula KA hanggang KD at mulang Kamuning Road hanggang K4th. Kugonan at Talahiban ang kalawakan galing Katimugan at galing Hilaga naman ay Palayan. Ang kahabaan ng EDSA noon, buhat Kamuning patungo Cubao hanggang McKinley, ay kalawakang Kugonan o Talahiban din. As the work of post-war reconstruction continued, the influx of people from Manila and other provinces brought growth and dynamism to the young Kamuning Church. By the early 50s, the list of families in Kamuning included the Acuñas, the Alcantaras, Almontes, Antonios, Acedillos, the Bideses, the Castillos, Colomas, the Depanos, Dumlaos, Encarnaciones, Evangelistas, Faralans, Ganaciases, Garcias, the Grais, the Isips and Libatiques, Lopeses, Oliveros, Pinilis, the Riveras, the Sorianos, the Tignos, the Tuasons, and more. The chapel at the corner of K4th and KA streets held the Methodist congregation through the post-war years. Occasionally, as on Good Fridays, they would hold open-air services on 96 Kamuning Road, corner KB, or evangelistic services at the corner of KE and K1st. Easter sunrise services and Thanksgiving celebrations were held at the shining new Bernardo Park, and sometimes with the Philippine Constabulary Band playing as guest. They did a lot of visitations, especially if there was a new Protestant in the area. The men were at the forefront of church leadership. In 1949, the women formally organized as WSCS, meeting once a month for silver tea, where they put together their silver coins during tea after worship and devotion. The silver coins made up their working fund for Christian service. The children were taught. Small chairs were made for them. Harris Bible women came to help and teach. The youth were organized. They had a choir that sang in the worship service. They had Bible study and reflection, usually done outdoors, sitting on the rocks beside Bernardo Park, and held leadership training and joint fellowships with other MYF chapters, like Marikina or Tangos. They went on outings to Bolara. The church thrived. It was growing in membership and in ministry, and it needed a new place. Mrs. Magdalena Lapus, a churchwoman, owned a lot along Kamuning Road near the intersection of Kamuning Road and Highway 54. She sold her property to the church for 18,000 pesos and then donated the entire amount to build a parsonage with a covered extension, which was used temporarily for worship and other activities. The parish house, it was called, was dedicated in December 1955. The marker listed the names of Bishop Jose Valencia, D.S. Esteban Cruz, the minister Reverend Guillermo Manuel, members of the official board, which is the equivalent of today's church council, and the members of the trustees. Mrs. Magdalena Lapus was named as honorary steward for her gift. Reverend Manuel strongly encouraged the growing congregation to relocate to this site on Kamuning Road and to build a church building here. In 1957, under the term of Reverend Eduardo Cahiwat, the cornerstone of the present church building was laid. The church by the highway was about to be built.